Welcome back, True Seeker. Thursday, September 27th, 2018. Tonight will be Thursday night football on the Jesuit Order's birthday. And what's really interesting about this matchup, the Rams and the Vikings, two teams that have animal horns on the side of their helmet, is that 58 years ago today, September 27th, 1960, the Minnesota Vikings were officially named. So they're playing on the 58-year anniversary of the naming of their team. This is their 58th season. We know that number's special to Freemasonry, which has a lot of control over American football. Freemasonry equals 58, secret society 58. With regards to today being the Jesuit Order's birthday, the Masons within the Catholic Church, in the septenary cipher, Catholic Church is 58. We know the Jesuits have a lot of influence over the world of sports. And some things jump out about this game. This game looks like a betting trap. A lot of people are going to be expecting the Rams, which look like the best team in the NFL, to win tonight, especially after the Vikings just got humiliated at home by the Bills. And as I talked about last week, a lot lined up for a Bills win, but I just thought it was even too ridiculous for them to make it happen. I should have thought twice about that. Last week, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 111. New York, 111. McDermott, 111. The game was a span of 111 days from Zimmer's birthday. And sure enough, the Vikings became 111. 1-1-1. One win, one tie, one loss. I guess I said that in a dyslexic order. One win, one loss, one tie. After getting blown out. Not only did they lose, but they got blown out by the Bills, a game that was over early. Completely absurd, only in the scripted NFL. But after that, the gambler who uses logic, and that's what gamblers need to do, is undo the logic, because these games are not logical, they're scripted, they're meant to screw people over. Anyway, the logical gambler is thinking, Vikings aren't looking so good right now, they're on the road against the best team. The only question they're asking is, are the Rams going to cover those 6.5 points? And the over-under at 50 tonight, most people are going to put their money on the Rams. So, let's talk about what stands out in the numbers, because a lot stands out, and this game couldn't be any more Catholic, if you will. We'll get to what I mean by that. Today has 74 numerology, 47 numerology, 29 numerology, football 29, 54 numerology, Jesuit Order 54, it's the Jesuit's birthday, and 36 numerology. The Jesuit logo has the IHS in it. IHS equals 36. If the Rams were upset tonight, they'd fall to 3-6 on Thursday Night Football. I think that's a very real possibility. Something to think about this week is Thursday Night Football begins with one of 3 undefeated teams. Monday Night Football features one of 3 undefeated teams. There's only 3 teams undefeated right now. They're the Rams and the Chiefs, which were both in Missouri not that long ago. And the other's the Miami Dolphins, who are in their 53rd season. So, undefeated, gematria of 40. The Rams could stay undefeated on Thursday Night Football, going 4-0. It is possible they win tonight. TNF equals 40, the acronym for Thursday Night Football. 40 is usually a big number in the scripting of Thursday Night Football. TNF 40, undefeated 40, week 440. Do the Rams become 4-0? Preserving the undefeated record, which is relatively rare this year in the NFL. Only 3 teams with a perfect record, and usually there's more at this point in the season. Notice undefeated also has gematria 50, the over-unders at 50. Kansas City equals 50, Chiefs equals 50. Those of you who've been following me probably remember the riddle with 50 and the Chiefs and the Packers the other year in the playoffs. Packers had beat the Chiefs in Super Bowl I 50 years earlier. Cute little riddle from a few playoffs ago. So anyhow, the Vikings. A lot lines up for them. This is not an easy game to call because of what we just said with the undefeated and the 40. But outside of that, a lot lines up for the Vikings here. So let's just go through it piece by piece. Thursday night football equals 257. That's the 55th prime. Minneapolis equals 55. Remember last year the Patriots became 5-5 in Super Bowls after the sack fumble by number 55 on the Eagles. All part of the script. Los Angeles also has the gematria 55. So good matchup for Thursday night football. TNF has the gematria of 40, 13, 41, 14. LA has the gematria of 13, 41, and 14. Has 3 of those 4 values. The game's in LA tonight. Week 4 has the gematria of 40 and 41. Undefeated 40 and 41. Undefeated team hosting on Thursday night football in Los Angeles. In the head-to-head matchup, the Vikings are currently on a 5-game winning streak against the Rams. They've won 5 in a row. If they won tonight, it would be 6 in a row. Remember, when you write out 6 as a word, it sums to 52. Last week, we saw Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield equals 239, the 52nd prime. We saw Baker Mayfield become the story of the week where the Sunday games fell on 23/9. And all the teams except for Alex Smith that had the 52 connection lost last week, which surprised me. Alex Smith got it, though. But anyway, for tonight's game, when you write out 652, Minnesota equals 52, Los Angeles Rams equals 52. Minnesota hosted Super Bowl 52. You know, Los Angeles Rams had a good season last year. They were the surprise team of the NFL. But could they get their 6th win in a row tonight? I see a little riddle there with that. In light of the Jesuits, I should also mention that Pope equals 52. We have the first publicly Jesuit Pope who blessed Super Bowl 51, which was hosted by the Falcons that have the red and black Jesuit colors, and Arthur Blank is the owner who is a Jesuit. But remember, the Falcons were in that Super Bowl. They were the team with the Jesuit symbol. Well, I guess both teams had Jesuit symbolism. Tom Brady, you know, he has the Catholic Jesuit background. So does Matt Ryan. But the more blatantly obvious Jesuit team was the Falcons, and they lost in that Super Bowl that the Jesuit Pope blessed. The last time these two teams played was November 19th, 2017. That was a date with 47 numerology, 11 plus 19 plus 17, 47. Minnesota also has gematria 47. Today's game has 47 date numerology. That was also 44 weeks and 4 days earlier. November 19th, the day they last played, that's the day leaving 42 days left in the year. If you write out 5 as a word, it sums to 42. Freemasons, 42. Freemasons have the 5 points of fellowship. So, perfect day to pick up the 5th straight win it was for the Vikings. You know, 5-42. They got 5 straight wins on the day leaving 42 days left in the year. The last game between these two teams that was in Los Angeles, remember the Rams have been in St. Louis for a while, Missouri. The last game that was in LA, I wanted to look at when that was. It was November 29th, 1992. That's the 333rd day of the year. Well, it was a leap year that... Wait, was it? Yeah, it was. That was a leap year that year, so I guess it was the 334th day of the year that year. But that last game that was in LA, the Vikings won that game 31-17. So, last game in LA, Vikings won. Something to keep in mind. If the Vikings upset the Rams tonight, their record would be 2-1-1. That's a lot like 211, which is the 47th prime. If you read that number in reverse, it's also 112, kind of like how the Jesuits operate in 112 countries. 211, the 47th prime, Minnesota, 47. The Rams are 3-5 all-time on Thursday Night Football, Catholic 35. They could fall to 3-6 on a date with 36 numerology, IHS 36. If they did win, they'd become 4-5. 13 has the gematria 45 forwards and backwards. LA has the gematria 13. And you know what? Now that I think about it, IHS actually also has gematria 45 too in the base ciphers, like Holy Bible. So But the fact that today has 36 date numerology, the date numerology almost always factors into the score and outcomes of the games. As for the Vikings, they are 2-5 on Thursday Night Football. With a win, they would become 3-5. Catholic 35. With a loss, they'd become 2-6, a bit like 26, which is a huge number on this season. But remember, 3-5 is always a big one too. Football and Super Bowl have gematria of 35 in the Chaldean and septenary ciphers. The first Super Bowl won with 35 points. That was by the Packers. One more reminder, Catholic has gematria of 35 and 46. Vikings also has gematria of 46. And tonight is going to be the 46th game all-time between the two teams, counting regular season and playoffs. For the regular season, this will be the 39th game. The Vikings lead the regular season 22-14-2. That means that the Rams could pick up their 15th regular season win. Today has 47 date numerology. 47 is the 15th prime. Los Angeles Rams. Hold on, I don't want to give you guys bad information. I might have typoed there. Is it Los Angeles Rams or is it Los Angeles, California? Hold on. It is Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles Rams has gematria of 83, football number. 83 is the 23rd prime. The Vikings could pick up their 23rd win tonight in Los Angeles. That's in the regular season against the Rams. The two coaches, we have Mike Zimmer and Sean McVay. Zimmer equals 39, Sean 39. It's the 39th regular season matchup. Minneapolis, Minnesota also has the gematria 93, the reflection of 39. God, I already forget. Somebody called in last night in my radio show and talked about the death of an older athlete. Ugh. But when he brought it up in the moment, I was like, oh, that reminds me of how the Lakers went from Minnesota to Los Angeles, and then they play each other in primetime football tonight. Let's just, in light of the whole thing with Minnesota and LA and basketball and the basketball season being so close, I just want to do this real quick. It's the 27th. I want to see how many days it is. I believe it's 19 days or a span of 20, but just to be sure. I know the NBA season begins October 16th this year. I believe that's 19 days. It is 19, a span of 20. That doesn't really help me out. I just want to think about it for a second out loud. There's some riddle there potentially with basketball. Okay, but again, it's going to be the 46th game all-time. The Vikings lead the Rams in the playoffs 5-2, kind of like 52 again. They could get their 6th straight regular season win, 52. Minnesota, Los Angeles Rams, both 52. Just as something to remember from last year, Case Keenum and Nick Foles did really well in the NFC. They were once both backups for the Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles Rams 52. It was the year of Super Bowl 52. This year, Case Keenum in Denver. He's playing on Monday night. So, this will be Kirk Cousins' 62nd career game. Minneapolis has that gematria of 62. Mike Zimmer's 62 years old. Numbers relevant to Minneapolis. Their team named 58 years ago to the day. Kirk Cousins' record right now is 27-32-2. Isn't it amazing you can have a losing record and get paid like a massive contract in the NFL? Cousins, his name has gematria of 89. Los Angeles, California gematria of 89. He's playing in LA. Cousins is 10-18 on the road. He could pick up his 19th loss on the road or his 11th win. 11. Cousins in Los Angeles, California, both 89. That's the 11th Fibonacci number. Be a fitting place for him to get his 11th road win. Cousins to date is 2-0 against the Rams. He'll either be 2-1 or 3-0. This will be Jared Goff's 27th game on the 27th of September. He is 14-12. He could pick up his 15th win on the 47-date numerology. Again, 47, the 15th prime. Goff is 6-8 at home. This will be his 15th home game. He's 0-1 against the Vikings. If he became 0-2, remember 2 has that gematria of 58, like how the Vikings were named 58 years ago to the day. The game will come 17 days, span of 18 from Goff's 24th birthday. This game will come 39 days from Kirk Cousins' 30th birthday, or a span of 40. Again, it's the 39th regular season matchup. 40, the number that connects to undefeated Thursday night football. TNF. Seems that that's better alignment for Kirk Cousins. In this QB, if I just had to look at the QB comparison, I'd say, well, I think I like it more for Cousins then. That's some more alignment if you ask me. The 62nd game, the potential 11th road win. For the coaches, this will be Mike Zimmer's 68th game. He is 40-27-1. Thursday Night Football has the gematria, TNF has the gematria of 40 and 41. He could go from 40 wins to 41 wins. He could do it in LA, which has the gematria of 41. Week 4 has the gematria of 41. This will be Sean McVay's 20th game. He is 14-5. McVay has the gematria of 19. He's coached 19 games. He's off to a great start for a young coach, 14-5. Impressive record. He'll either be 15-5 or 14-6 by the night's end, unless we get another tie. I'm not counting on that. This game comes 114 days after Mike Zimmer's 62nd birthday, a span of 115 days. Minneapolis, Minnesota has the gematria of 114. Minneapolis, 62. Nice alignment. And again, special day for the franchise. They got their team name on this day in history. This game will come 246 days, span of 247 after McVay's 32nd birthday. Comes 119 days before his 33rd birthday. 33. So I'll do the Sunday games later. Just wanted to put out this Thursday night football post. This is a really tough call. If I was gambling with my own money, I wouldn't feel confident going either way. To me, this is a wait-and-see game. But just knowing the way that Vegas likes to play gamblers in the mind games, it makes me give the edge to the Vikings, especially in light of all the alignment we talked about, and the fact that they were named on this day 58 years ago. It's not an accident they're playing on Thursday Night Football on this date. They love to punk home crowds in primetime. That opportunity is here for the Rams. But the thing that makes me think twice is the Rams could become 4-0 on TNF, maintaining the undefeated record. You know what I mean? That's a hard one to overlook. Week 4. So I'll be back with more analysis. I want to watch what happens tonight before I put out these Sunday picks. I'm not doing bad this year with my picks, but I'm doing bad for my own standards, and primetime is usually really easy for me to call. This year it's been a real struggle. I know that we are having an impact because the websites that used to track Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football, they don't have the nice complete records like they used to. And those complete records used to make it a lot easier to call these primetime games. It's not a coincidence that has stopped in the last 2 years and the time we've been putting out this work and exposing how the games are scripted. So I want to watch tonight's games before I put out the Sunday picks, because oftentimes what happens in these games and the numbers that come out of these games, which are typically the numbers we're already looking at, they often foretell what's going to happen with other teams. So we're going to watch Thursday night. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to put out the Sunday picks, the primetime picks. And if you have a problem with that, please let me know. I respect all of your opinions. You guys are all supporting this work financially, which I'm grateful for. And I just want you to know that I feel that my work so far hasn't been good enough since you guys are investing in this. And we're going to get that straightened out. So Again, this is a game I wouldn't want to bet on, but the Vikings are a potentially good payout tonight in an upset. So we'll leave it there. Until next time.